Oh, should I grab a
bone.
leash for him in case we want to get him by the llamas and things? Because he's not really great with
Well, let's see.
non-dog animals.
This is an introduction. Trust, respect, love. That's a meditation thing, right? Look, now doing this.
This is incredible, man.
Look. You did it with sound, and you see what sound does.
Right.
I did it with silence, and a shoo.
Yeah.
There's boat in the water. Just think about a boat in the water. And then you can move all animals. You don't need sound for the boat. You just move the boat. Listen, I am excited because I'm gonna meet a dog that has traveled the world, which is something that I wanted Junior and Daddy to do, right? I got to do it, you know, Daddy and Junior definitely got to travel the world. And I know the happiness that happens to a dog when he meets Germany, when he meets England, when he meets Hungary, when he meets all these parts of the world. This episode is brought to you by Dr. Marty. And I'm about to meet a dog that besides the human, I have some questions for the human, you know. Look at the peace. Okay, listen, already, this is the first dog that comes to the ranch peaceful. Peaceful. Oh my God. Perfect car. Listen, maybe when I retire, I will do that. Bring him out.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Look.
Hey, Cesar.
How are you, brother?
Good, how are you doing?
Really good. I was saying that I'm very excited to meet you both, but definitely this is what I wanted for my dogs, right? To meet the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing we can do for them.
Yeah.
Right? I got to bring my two dogs, Daddy and Junior, to different parts of the world. But what you're doing is something that is like every dog person will love to do it. The dogs that I work with, they don't get to walk enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't get to solve problems.
Right.
You know, by being in a different place.
Right.
Simple as that. Right? Because then the mind gets to work. Where am I?
Man, I totally agree with that. You know, I feel like confidence comes from just having a big stack of life experiences.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
life experiences and that could be whatever. You know, for us, it's been snowboarding and traveling and camping, but you know, different people are different. But yeah, I think we've lived a really colorful life. And
Yeah.
he's 12 now. You know, and
Self-efficient, right?
Yeah.
So right now, he's not interested in the pack whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay? This guy shows you that he has achieved a level of leadership with the pack, because he knows you guys are a pack.
Right.
But he can be on his own.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I love about him. You know, he's his own person. He's his own soul. He's not attached to me all the time.
What you have done for him is why he accomplished it.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're here to have a relationship with others and help them become pack, but also self-oriented.
Right.
So how do you achieve that? Moving.
Yeah.
You just have to move.
Yeah.
You just have to move. Don't stay in the same place, because animals migrate.
Yeah.
That's why a walk is more than a walk for a dog. It's a
Right.
migration. And when people get out of their house and make a right every single day for years, that dog, that's it, he's stuck.
Right.
Versus what you have done, it allows the dog to birth life and death.
Right.
Because that's what you're here for. You have to use your birth, your life, and your death. And yet by the time you're gone, you're tired.
Right.
You're done them all. You know what I mean?
Right.
I always tell my kids, I want to die happy, healthy, loving, smart.
Yeah.
But I want to use all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, man. I always like putting him in like uncomfortable
Yes.
situations, whether it be, you know, canoeing, kayaking, snowboarding. He's been in helicopters. He's been, you know, towed in a trailer by snowmobiles. We've been We've been up above the Arctic Circle. We go to Baja a lot. Just everything.
But do you have human family?
Yeah.
Like kids and everything?
Oh no, I don't have any kids. No, I have a brother and
okay.
my mom and dad are still alive. Yeah.
All right.
We've, I got him in my, I was probably 26, I guess, when I got him. So, in a way, we've kind of grown up together. We've kind of grown up together. And should I grab a leash for him in case we want to get him by the llamas and things? Because he's not really great with.
Well, let's see.
Non-dog animals. He's happiest when he's hunting, right?
Oh, okay.
And that's not always great for human life.
Right.
And so around livestock and things, sometimes I need to be careful with him. I didn't know how he'd do around the llama.
But you can have the hunter. You can have the hunter, and you can tell the hunter, "Hey, no hunting." You follow what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like a dog. It's the same thing. Obviously, not as intense as when a dog is exploring.
Sure.
Right? It's exploring. It's not hunting. It's exploring. Right?
Sure.
But you can tell a dog right now we don't explore.
I think a big part of it. I know it's part of your philosophy. Is exercise, right?
Yeah.
And throughout his life, I've ran him on a bike, pretty heavily, especially when he was younger. Not so much anymore, but when he was younger, and once we have those opportunities, then he's much more able to be calm, surrender. In those environments.
Yeah. So this is a perfect example of off-leash peace. This is on-leash peace, right? So when I teach a dog, I like to do it in a pack because he learns faster.
Right.
So he's going to learn, like, leashes is not a thing for an animal, right? Because they don't want it. So we have to be able to let them know that leash means calm surrender, or leash means silence, or leash means peace.
Yeah.
If the dog or the animal, horse or a squirrel, you put a leash on it, as long as you convince them to be peaceful and calm, they will associate it with good stuff.
Right.
Especially if right after they achieve that and you give them a food, it's like, on top of that?
Right.
Because we're the only ones who reward.
Yeah.
For behavior. In their world, it's expected.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's expected.
Good boy.
I wish the people, once they see the video, they can feel the presence.
Yeah.
Right? The feel is out of this world.
Well, I hope so too, man. I mean, we have, we've lived a big life on Instagram and social media, and I think I would attribute all that to his spirit. I think that he's an incredible dog. Lokes, come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Good boy.
Now, right now, he's doing a wolf thing. Right, but we're also stopping him.
Lokes, come here.
But his piece just changed because we are entering into a different smell. So it's very settled when our dogs communicate. I always tell people, silence before sound. Silence before sound. Because when you're quiet, you get to see at the moment they shift.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't shift like, I'm about to shift.
Right.
No, right? They wow, the nose pick up something, the eyes pick up something, the ears pick up something.
Yeah.
Or the energy, they can go into they can feel the energy of the environment.
Yeah.
And they make a shift in half a second.
Right.
Which people see when the dog is already running away from them.
Right.
I see it before he runs away.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to teach people. And the only way I can teach people to achieve that so they can see it is by staying quiet. Dog people are not quiet.
Right.
Because they like to do the baby talk and they like to talk to the dog through the ears. Right?
Yeah.
This sounds that he's making is an understanding of stop going that way.
Yeah, pay attention to me.
Yeah,
hey.
But it's not a word.
Right.
It's not a word. So I do the right, and the it's not a word. It's just a sound that is delivered at a certain time.
Yeah.
When they're breaking the rules, the boundaries, or the limitations.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the equivalent of a growl, but we don't growl.
Right.
We make other sounds.
Yeah.
So as long as you convey and you do it at a certain time, and the dog end up understanding by surrendering, that sound has that power.
Yeah, man, it's a dream of mine for not only to meet you, but to have you meet Loki.
Yes,
like
I'm the same.
I don't know if they told you, but I read your book, Be the Pack Leader, probably in 2009. I think before Loki was born.
Wow.
And it definitely had a big influence on my life. And
yes, because people can say, yeah, I want good energy. Yeah, I want to learn. But then it's the execution of the doing it.
Right.
right? And
Right.
that's the dog walk, because everybody wants a dog until it's time to walk the dog.
Yeah, it's so much time, every day, year after year. When he was young, I would run him on a bike in the morning, and then I would give him a beef bone in the backyard and pray that he wouldn't escape the backyard, because he was an escape artist when he was a puppy. I had a GPS collar on him, and he would escape all the time, and I'd have to come home from work and go find him, and but it was hours and hours of exercise that put him to be with his demeanor that he has now.
But that's why a street dog becomes so good,
right?
Because he gets lost many times.
Yeah, he's lived a whole life outside of myself, exploring and running. Lokes, come here. Loki, come.
So I can. There you go. So what do you do for a living?
Well, I do a lot of things, involved with Instagram. I was working for the city of Denver in 2016 in the outdoor recreation department. And I was bringing Loki to work with me every day. And eventually it got kind of found out higher up in the city that I had been bringing Loki to work. And they said that I couldn't bring him to work anymore. And next day I said, okay, I quit. I quit my job because I had been starting doing things on social media and it had taken off. And I was so busy. So from 2016 on, I've been doing things involved with social media, and I started a company with a few guys, and we build propane fire pits now. So actually, that's
fire pits. My son Calvin will love you.
Yeah, they're great, man. I'll show you.
Calvin likes that stuff.
Yeah, they're really cool. So that takes up most of my time these days.
Okay.
But that's my world right now.
What I like to, my people to learn before they fall in love is compatibility. Right? So can your energy, just without talking, just by just being you and breathing, is that dog surrenders to your presence.
I love that.
Right? Because then your love will be given to somebody who naturally surrendered to your presence. Right? So it's like friends. You have to pick people that surrender to your presence.
Right.
Not only leads you or make you happy-go-lucky. And so in order for you to be part of the pack, that compatibility needs to exist. You follow before love is given, because love is a gift, right? It's something that dog lovers do it all the time first, right? So and then they hire people like me to build trust, respect. So build trust, respect first, and then you love that. Right? That's a trust, respect. That's why you see the sign. Well, trust, respect, love.
I'm a big fan of being their leader first, and then their friend.
There you go.
Right?
So that's
leader
it.
first, then their friend.
That's it. That's it.
Come on, Lokes.
And leadership is friendship, right? Because it's trust, respect. So the friends that we keep are the one we trust, respect.
Right.
Honor. People with honor, people who are responsible. Those are the good ones to keep.
Right.
The other ones, get rid of them.
Ones that you can depend on.
The toxic friends, the friends with not good mind and good actions, get rid of them.
Right. Lokes, come here, buddy.
It's important to meet them.
Good boy.
It's important to meet them. But it's also important to know, okay, who are you compatible energetically, your same philosophy and actions.
Well, the other thing is, I fostered some smaller dogs, and they have a completely different set of needs, right, than large dogs. So I couldn't.
Less distance.
Loki lives in my truck a lot of the times in Colorado. He's fine when it's cold. I couldn't leave a small dog in the car when it's cold. So
that's true.
We go skiing or snowboarding, and he stays in the car, or he comes with me. We do backcountry snowboarding, and so I want a dog not only that I can connect with, but that can
keep up with your lifestyle.
Keep up with my life, take care of themselves in a way. He's met some gray whales. Yeah, pretty incredible.
That's it, Lucky. You're doing it for us. He's doing it for the pack. So if you can't live it, be happy when somebody else is doing it. That can be a dog, okay? So if your dream is to go see the whales, but you can't see it, and you see a dog doing it, be happy for that dog.
That's a good point.
Because you're feeding the spirit. Right?
It's
the spirit. Be happy for the happiness of other people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be happy for the health of other people. Be happy for the love of other people, for the smart of other people.
Well, that's the key to unity, especially like what's going on in the world right now.
That's
is
my point.
Just being happy for other people and wanting everybody to succeed, you know?
I want all the kids in the world to hear things like this before they hear jealousy,
Right.
comparison, money, fame, power, you know, corridos, you know, anything from music that excites violence. Before
Right.
you hear all of that, just hear this.
Yeah.
You know, just be a good kid.
Well, being happy for someone else is a form of surrender too, right?
Yeah.
It's a form of calm surrender.
Yeah. But you're surrendering to the other energy.
Exactly.
Because when you think bad about other people, you're still surrendering to the evil.
Right.
That's
a good point.
Yes. Listen, at one point you surrender. You just have to be aware, what do you surrender?
Yeah.
Right? Are you surrendering to good energy? Are you surrendering to good philosophy? Are you surrendering to good actions? Because you are doing it, even though you don't think you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're surrendering.
You know,
Right.
it's interesting to think about surrender so much, but also think about being the pack leader, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're.
Oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna
Tell
love
me.
it. So, one thing that I have learned is that to be a good pack leader, you have to be all the positions: back of the pack, middle of the pack, front of the
Okay.
pack.
Yeah.
So those are state of mind. Sometimes you need to be in the back of the pack,
Yeah.
so you can be the most sensitive.
Right.
Sometimes you have to be the middle of the pack, so you can be the most happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be in front, so you can be the most direction protection.
Right.
So a good pack leader knows how to play the three positions.
Yeah. That's good.
And that's why you need dogs.
That's really
because
good.
the dogs are loyal to their position. A back of the pack dog will never dream to go in the front. They're born to stay there. It's all about the pack. It's not
Yeah.
about the individual. Human, we're pack-oriented and self-oriented.
Yeah.
Sometimes I play the back of the pack. When I'm with my parents, I'm not a front.
Right.
I
right.
come surrender to my parents the same way I come surrender to God every day.
Right.
The same way I come surrender to work,
Yeah.
or to the family. So I always say, I master calm surrender before I master leadership. Guys, you can learn how to introduce an incredible, wise dog to this, because he's a hunter. So today, we're gonna see how far we can convince him to do calm surrender. Yes. So calm surrender.
wanna hang on to him?
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh hell yeah. So when I put a leash on a dog,
Nice
I
and
like to put it
high.
all the way in the top.
Okay.
Then instead of me waiting, I block the intensity before he gets there. So that's like a rule.
Right.
Right? We're coming in, but don't listen to your instinct. Listen to me.
So you came in confident.
Yeah, and then blue block.
Yep.
Right. Then block, and then I waited for him to go back, and that's how you get signal, right? That the brain understood not to keep going in that direction. So
Right.
then you bring in the brain under your energy feeling, right? So how do I know when it's time for me to go forward? Well, the brain has to be calm surrender. Brain calm surrender. Short, not tense. Leash all the way in the top.
Yeah.
Bring him in. And of course, inside of me, I want the nose. The ears are good.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. This is not bad. Right? Because I want him to be curious.
Right.
So I'm not saying not to be curious. I just blocked him when he was coming in earlier because his energy was a little bit more here than
Right.
here. So right now he's here sniffing. So that there you go.
Yeah.
So block when he's showing excitement. Do not block when he's showing.
Yeah, you're picking up
Hey.
on it very early.
Yeah.
Very early.
Because I'm looking at the animal,
Yeah.
right? Who's a dog.
Right.
So to me, it's excited animal who's a bear, excited animal who's a horse.
Right.
So how do I know that I'm picking up? Because I'm getting feedback, the energy that they feel,
Right.
not who they are
Yeah.
as a species.
Yeah.
Right? So sadness is an energy, tension is an energy, right? So all of that is, you can feel it when you're quiet and calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what gives you access to know how does the animal feel. So your mind doesn't think, You just feel it,
Yeah.
right? And then having the leash in a certain place, it gives you access to immediately control the nose and then control, where the brain goes. So it's like a boat in the water.
Right.
Right. And then so once you do that, the brain learns this guy is guiding me and there's nothing I can do.
Right.
So you tap into the element of surprise.
Right.
Where you convince the mind to follow because he has no other choice.
Okay.
But you have good energy, so your intentions are being sent through the leash.
Right.
Right? And then of course my repetitions, it gives me the wisdom. This guy knew, I don't know him, but he knows exactly how to tell me not to get excited.
Yeah. I like how quickly you read his energy and took action.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like
half a second.
Yeah.
So if you go 2-3 seconds later, and then they go from 0 to 100.
Right.
So I just want him to stay in the 0.
Yeah.
Right? If you stay in the 0, and then I can convince him to stay calm, surrender.
Right.
Right? So that's my point of reference in the mind. But honestly, you can hear words, but if you don't know how to feel them, how do you know you're there?
Yeah. We'll see.
This is good, guys. So first time meeting a llama. Loki, first time meeting a llama. Ears are slightly to the side. His eyes are over here, not over there. And his mouth is open. Obviously, that's one way of physically look and understand how Loki is feeling right now. And then, of course, how we feel about it is gonna. That's his main source of human. I'm just reproducing what you already have.
Yeah.
Like this is my meditation here. See, this is a beautiful introduction. There is no fear in my body.
Yeah.
Right? So what is meditation? The meditation for me is that you are capable to feel the silence, the calmness, the love and the joy if you want to.
Yeah.
The confidence is just that you know what you're doing and you know how you're feeling. This is an introduction. Trust, respect, love. That's a meditation thing. Right? Look, now doing this.
This is incredible, man.
Look. Boom. So for me, as I'm asking spirit instinct, follow me.
Yeah.
And so because I'm making that introduction, I'm putting myself as the guy who's leading this meeting.
Yeah.
You look different, you smell different, you sound different, but I want you both of you guys to follow me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to provide direction, protection.
Yeah.
So then I can put a dog and a llama together.
Right.
And then repetitions of that will create the friendship.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's all about the first day or the first second.
Right.
Right? So the human can't have negative energy. It doesn't matter if you don't have any money. That has nothing to do with money here. It has to do with, let's say you have no money. Are you still capable to produce patience, calmness, confidence, love, joy for the benefit of the pack?
Yeah.
Regardless obstacles or situations. And because this is all they need. They had no idea that we have a world led by the wrong leaders. They have no idea.
Right.
Right? Only humans know.
Yeah.
What they know is what's the moment. That's what you call meditation. It's every single second that you feel trust, respect, love.
Oh yeah.
Short, not tense. Because the other way, when you were walking him, you gave a lot of leash. So when you're leading, it's short, not tense.
Okay. Come on, Lokes. Oh yeah, now he's a little more
excited. That's right. So always guide. There. Come on. There. So you did it with sound, and you see what sound does.
Right.
I did it with silence, and then shoo.
Yeah.
So it's boat in the water. Just think about a boat in the water, and then you can move all animals. You don't need sound for the boat. You just move the boat.
Pretty cool stuff. I've never walked a llama, and I never thought Loki would.
He can smell it.
Would be so
close to a llama.
I know.
Yeah. At your knowledge, at your age, what would you share for the people to become better humans? What I think what you're doing is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To walk with your dog everywhere and of course use it to have your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, what is your recommendation or what is your wisdom? Yeah, no, share your wisdom with my people.
Sure, yeah. I think to live so loudly from your heart that you don't need words. I think is
loudly from your heart.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Yeah, just what we've been talking about all day as far as sometimes you just need to shut up and listen. Listen to and pay attention, right? And paying attention is the most profound form of love.
Okay.
And that's what I've learned from Loki. I think those things, not only for him to enter my world, but for me to pay attention and enter his world.
Right.
And he's so gentle. He's so gentle. I think that I learned a lot of gentleness from Loki, and sensitivity.
Yeah. Gentle sensitivity. Those are very important things to trust.
The other thing that comes to mind is a lot of people have a perception of humanity that we are visitors on this planet and we're moving on and we're just passing through. But to be able to work with dogs, especially having a sense that we are a part of this world, we are as much of this world as a dog is, we are as much of nature as our pets are. I think changes the playing field for how you relate to your animal.
The connection, the communication, the relationship.
Yeah.
All of that. That's, we're land on this earth, and then what do? Right? Because a lot of times people don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to ask the universe, right? Because I wanted to be the best dog trainer in the world. Based on where I'm from, that's impossible.
Yeah.
How do you ask? How do you felt? What was the connection to and then of course you can see it with dogs. You can see the connection with that person, right?
Yeah.
They were calling me the Mexican guy that walks a pack of dogs before they called me the dog whisperer. But what they saw, it was a connection. What are you doing to this earth? You come into earth to connect. You come in earth to learn how to communicate and have relationships.
Yeah.
With people, with earth, with animals, and oh, look at that! The hawk just passed by at the perfect time.
Wow.
To me, those are signs.
Yeah.
Talking about something, because my goal is, come on, how do we give this message? How do we help? How do we bring other people to influence, to inspire other people to become part of this community?
Yeah.
Right? Where we all want the same thing for the dog.
Yeah.
Right? Natural, simple, profound, trust, respect, love, happiness, health, a good heart, and hope. That's what we all want. Dog people, that's what we want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can we do it together so we change the energy of the world?
Cesar, man, that was really cool.
What do you like about today? I always like to ask people. You read the book, you watched the show a little bit, you travel the world, you did things on your own.
I think, I grew up I had my first dog when I was 8. We had family dogs before that, but my own dog, I was 8. And I was thinking about our life journey and with Loki, and to be able to go back and be like, hey, you're gonna meet the most notable dog person in the world. That is a gift, and that is a gift that in some ways Loki gave me. Because of his special spirit that the world loves. The world loves his spirit. But I loved how natural the conversation was. You feel like a friend. You feel like a friend, and even though there's cameras and all of this.
Right.
And I love the fact that we could get him around a llama because Loki, we talked about it so much, his life experience is so vast, right?
Yeah.
So to have a life experience for him that's new is very rare at this point in his life.
Yes.
And you gave that to him.
This episode was brought to you by Dr. Marty. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and join me on my mission of better humans, better planet.